Circle Healing Network.
Hello, welcome back to Circle Healing Network. Today we're going to continue on our series of exploring the Mandela Effect through QHHT sessions. I'm here again with Barbara Becker, who is the QHHT practitioner and the woman who has guided these sessions and has been able to ask the questions of the High Council. If you've looked at the first one or any of our other sessions, you'll know who the High Council is. If not, I encourage you to go back and look at our very first episode in this series, because Barbara explains a lot about what QHHT is, who Dolores Cannon is, and what her legacy is. If not, we also are posting it beneath this video, so you'll be able to hit those links and go right in to find out more about QHHT and Dolores Cannon's work. Today, we're going to continue exploring the Mandela Effect through the various questions that Barbara is asking of my subconscious and the higher council that's coming through in these sessions. So we thank you. Stay tuned and let's see what else the high council has to say today about this Mandela Effect. Thanks.
In this episode, we'll be asking about the changing world maps, human organs and body systems, and the flexibility of time. Let's watch and experience.
Thank you for that. People are also noticing that the world maps are looking different, where the land masses are changing location. Is it true that they have changed location, or is this a presentation of the medium of a map?
Yes, they have actually changed positions. Think of the planet of Mother Earth, which is what you are experiencing of the planet is the three-dimensional aspect of it, right? It's the body of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
The body of the planet, the water, the land masses are not the planet. It's not the essence of Mother Earth. It's not the energetic field of the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It is the third-dimensional aspect. So it's like your bodies. So it's like your physical body, right? It's so just like your physical bodies are in fact changing, because as you move in and out of these energetic fields that's been starting to go on, and a lot of it has been happening in your dream time. When people say they feel they're doing a lot of work in the dream time, or they recount stories of what's going on in their dream time, they are actually truly moving in and out of these various dimensions, time parallels, continuums, etc. Like the layers of an onion, let's say. That's a common one that's used. Let's use it. So when you're moving in and out, you are developing a body suitable for moving in and out of the dimensions. See? So it's like adaptation of the species. You all have begun to use your bodies differently, and you are truly moving in and out of dimensions at sleep time. That's why you oftentimes wake up so tired or just so active. So much is going on. It seems so real. It's more lucid dreaming going on these days, and so much more happening. And so your body has begun to adjust and change its structure. It's becoming more compact. It's becoming more, the skeletal frame is becoming more flexible. The reason why people remember the rib cage as being different, it has become more of a cage, in fact, because moving in and out, the organs, you're moving in and out. It's like in Star Trek, beam me up, Scotty. The idea that it seems like everything just goes into some smoke, and then it's somewhere else back together again. So in this process, this body is adapting to this, and it's creating a cage to harness the organs more, which is why the organs look like they're moving and more smushed together and all these. Well, yeah, it's compacting itself so that it's easier to change in the dimensions and carry the body with you. So the planet is doing a similar thing, and only, interestingly enough, more so by two reasons this is happening on the planet. One, it's cleansing itself. So it's like anything when things cleanse. Things you got to move the couch to vacuum under it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order for the planet to clean and cleanse itself, it's moving and shifting land masses around, and a lot of this is happening at the core, but it's happening in the exact same way. The planet is going in and out of dimensions and shifting and changing. The second reason is to become a very physical, tangible example. If the earth can have its continents shift and move and twist and turn, it becomes more probable and more conceivable to the human mind that the body is doing the same thing, that their physical body is doing the same thing.
Okay.
They're all connected.
So going back to the map, if I were to leave Miami Beach, Florida, and travel to Havana, Cuba, instead of going east by plane or boat, I will now need to go south. Is that correct? Because that's what we're seeing now on the maps.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, there's an interesting thing that's going on with this as well.
Yes.
Is that in fact that's what you would see looking at a map that would have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But because we are manipulating, because in this, part of it has been the earth changing and cleansing, as we just previously described. Man is doing the same. You have various memories, patterns shifting and twisting and turning on this tapestry. Some remembering this, some doing this. Well, see, the time parallel is extremely flexible. So for those who think that it still takes 2 hours to get from point A to point B, in their reality it will. And those who now see that Cuba is closer, blah, 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 it should only take an hour. In fact, it will only take an hour. Now, if you were to write that down, plane leaves destination, leaves departure at da da da, arrives at da da da, it does in fact seem to be that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you'll hear people say, gosh, it seemed like it only took me an hour to do that. It seemed like it only took me 15 minutes to do that. Well, in fact, in your reality and your part of the tapestry of consciousness, it in fact did.
Yes.
Because you're mastering it.
Yes. And I've heard of people, for instance, driving from Florida to Phoenix, Arizona in 2 days because they mastered warping time or bending time by placing arrows on their tires through their mind and imagining that those arrows are meeting their destination in record time. I've heard of this happening.
Precisely.
Okay.
This is exactly it. And so this is where it's important not to get into arguments and the masses about it takes this, it doesn't take this, it only takes this. Oh, well, you just probably thought it only took this amount of time. For that individual, that's all the time it took. That's all of its life force time that it used up, because time is also in the physical life force. It's how you're using it. So if you figured out for it to be an hour where somebody else had to take 2 hours, well, look how much longer you'll live. The idea of how much more life force you'll have. When we say you will live, not so much, we're tongue in cheek, not so much in terms of physical lifespan, but in terms of energetically, the amount of energy you are using in your lifetime, in your lifespan. So you have more left. You're able to do more with it. Now, whether or not you do more with it in this dimension, other dimensions, dream time, meditation time, whatever, it just gives you more to work with energetically, because it's not really about the hours of the hands of the time moving around the clock time. This is not the time we're really talking about, although in the third dimensional, in this concept of the three-dimensional time as it is known, it's this sort of passing of time on the clock, the traditional hourglass idea of an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of energetically, what the Mandela Effect is beginning to do is show people how pliable time really is, and you are the creator and the director of your own time, and it will respond specifically to you. And we think about the fact here that before there were clocks that showed the passing of time, and before the hourglass, it was directed by the sun, the rising and setting of the sun, the day. Time was so beautifully flexible, man. And you could do as much in a day or as little in a day, because there was no such thing as watching a clock. You just simply moved with the rhythm
Mm-hmm.
of the planet and of the heavenly bodies. And even with the hourglass, the discovery and the inventing and the using of that, it was still so flexible, because the sand actually drained at the rate it responded to the morphogenetic field, the auric field of the individual who flipped it.
Mm.
So if you believed that it was going to take you an hour to write a novel, it would take you an hour. And the last piece of sand would plop in when you were done with your novel. If someone else felt it was going to take 3 months to write a novel, well, they were flipping that hourglass.
And is this because everything is holding consciousness?
Yes.
Is why
Everything.
it responds to the person that was flipping the hourglass?
Precisely, Barbara. Precisely.